Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a good Lord's Day. And especially to our moms, happy Mother's Day. You can't do everything you like to do because of the virus, I know, but I hope you can enjoy your day, and I hope some of your family is with you. For us, we'll remember our moms today. Myra's gone, but we haven't forgotten her, and so we miss her a lot, and we'll be talking about her. And also, my mom, who's down in Dallas, Texas, she'll be 92 years old this month, and she's doing well. And I'll be talking to her later. She might even watch this video, I hope. So I'll say Happy Mother's Day to her. You know, I thought about it, and since it's Mother's Day, I said, gee, I ought to take a little time and just talk about our moms and say something about how much we appreciate them. You know, a lot of times Mother's Day sermons are talks to women, talking about how they can be good Christian mothers, and that's really important. But I thought, we really ought to just take the time to honor our moms and to tell them how important they are. I came across a message which really gave me an idea. So I'm going to use some of the ideas from this message about how we can honor our moms. And so for those of you that are children and those of you that are husbands, I hope you'll follow along and then listen as we think about some of these things that we can say to our moms. First of all, I'd like to read to you from the New Testament, from the Gospel of John. And this is when Jesus was hanging on the cross. John records in chapter 19 and verse 25. Standing by the cross of Jesus were his mother and his mother's sister, Mary the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene. When Jesus saw his mother and the disciple whom he loved standing nearby, he said to his mother, "Woman, behold your son." Then he said to the disciple, "Behold your mother." And from that hour the disciple took her to his own house. You know, you think of all the things that Jesus was going through, what was on his mind as there he was dying on the cross. And yet, in that hour of great pain and trial, who did he think about except his mother? And so he asked that John the apostle would care for her. And so John did. He took her into his home to provide her care. That's how important our moms are. And so we don't want to take our moms for granted. We want to let them know that they matter a lot to us. For a few minutes, I want to talk about ways we can show our moms that we really care and we love them. I guess the first way I would say we can show our moms that we love them is by what we say. We can love them verbally. Proverbs 31 verse 28 says, "Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her." And this is the way that it ought to be. Our moms should know how much we appreciate them. Regularly, we should tell them how much they mean to us. Several years ago, someone wrote into Dear Abby in the newspaper, and this is what he said about his wife. He said, "After more than 57 years of marriage and 2 children, my beloved Mary died 5 days before Christmas. While Mary was alive, she would frequently say, 'You don't know how much I love you.' I would reply, 'Likewise. I never said I love you.' Now her ashes are on my dresser, where I tell her several times a day how much I love her, but it's too late. Although I wrote poetry to her, I could not bring myself to say the 3 words I knew she wanted most to hear. The reason I'm writing is to urge men to express their feelings while their loved ones are alive. I don't know why, but many men are reluctant to express the depth of their feeling." And he signs it Missing Mary in Colorado. Isn't that the case with many men? We're reluctant, we're slow to let our feelings show. Let our wives and let our moms know exactly how much we love them. But the time may come when we can't say we love them. So we should do it. We should do it now. Ben, do you send a card to your mom? Do you ever buy flowers for your wife? Do you ever do any of those things? Or simply just take the time to sit with your wife and say, honey, I love you very, very much. That's something we ought to do. And the good news is we can do that today. We have the whole day to tell our moms, whether it's by a phone call or face to face, we can tell them how much we love them. The second way we can show our moms that we love them is by our touch. We can do it physically. How about it? You ever give your mom a big hug? And while you're at it, how about your wife? When's the last time you gave her a big hug? Now, I know there's a virus that probably won't stop a man from hugging his mother or his wife. My wife's, or my mom, excuse me, my wife is here. I can hug her, but my mom's in Texas. So I'm not going to be able to give her that big hug this year, but I'm hoping I'll have the opportunity to do it again. Think about this for a minute. Who was the very first person to touch you when you were a baby? Why, it was your mom, wasn't it? Your mom had you when you were born, and for quite some time, what did she do? She hugged you, she cuddled you, she fed you, she stroked you, she rubbed you, she changed those diapers, she even potty trained you. Yes, she did all those things for you when you were a child. So the fact is, your mom was constantly touching you. You received her affection daily, all the time. And now it's your turn to show your affection and return it to her. Getting gifts for your mom is a nice thing to do on Mother's Day. But if you were to ask, probably your hug, your touch, your attention will mean more to her than any flowers or any box of candy. I've been to the nursing home many times. I know some of you go there regularly too. And it's interesting to me because when I go in to talk to folks, particularly the ladies there, what is the first thing they do when you talk to them? While they'll reach out to you with their hand. They want to feel your touch. You see, they need that. And it's not just older people in nursing homes. Everybody needs touch. So one of the ways you can show your love to your mom is by your touch. Let me tell you another way you can show your love for your mom. You can show your love with your patience. Moms have an incredible job, and the pay just isn't all that good. They have to take care of us every day, and they do a lot of jobs that none of us would sign up for. But still, sometimes we become impatient. Well, why was dinner late tonight? Didn't you say you were going to pick up some milk at the store today? I wanted to wear that dress shirt today, but it doesn't look like it's been laundered. Yes, our patience can become short. It ought not to be so. We need to remember how much they do every day. Teenagers, I want to say this especially to you. There's a phase when many teenagers go through, and it almost seems like the home is a motel or a dormitory. You're just there to stay, and then you're on your way, and you're about your business. And mom almost becomes a maid or a housekeeper. You don't have time to stop and say too much, and you probably seldom express your appreciation. But there she is, still doing all these things for you. You need to treat her with patience. And we especially need to have patience with our moms as they're getting older. A few years ago, Focus on the Family shared a letter that was written from a mother to her adult children on her 80th birthday, and she was making a request of them for the following year. This is what she wrote. To all my children, I would like for you to come and sit with me and for you to be relaxed. We can talk or we can be silent. I would just like for us to be together. I need your patience when I don't hear what you say the first time. I know how tiresome it is to always be repeating, but sometimes I must ask you to repeat. I need your patience when I think too much about the past with my slowness and my set ways. I want you to be tolerant with what the years have done to me physically. Please be understanding about my personal care habits. I spill things. I lose things. I get unduly excited when I try to figure out my bank statement. I can't remember what time to take my medications, or even if I've taken it already. I take too many naps. Sometimes sleep helps to pass the day. Well, there you have it. Time, patience, and understanding. Those are the priceless gifts that I want. You know, we need to be patient with our moms as they get older, thinking about all the wonderful things they've done for us through the years. Truly, moms are blessings from God, and so we need to treat them that way. Well, let me share a fourth way we can show our love to moms. We can show our love by being grateful. By being grateful. There's a little verse I came across that I think maybe expresses well the lack of appreciation. It goes like this. She rises up at break of day, and through her tasks she races. She cooks the meals as best she may, and scrubs the children's faces. While school books, lunches, homework too, all need consideration, and yet the census man insists she has no occupation. Is that really so? Is a woman's greatest worth what she does at the job place? Or is it what she does at home with her family? Well, we know the answer to that, don't we? Moms shouldn't go without appreciation. We should show them that they are every bit as important, probably more important, than any occupation by anyone in the family. You see, it's mom that holds the whole thing together, doesn't she? So we need her. We couldn't get by without her. There was elementary science class, and the teacher was going to begin a study on magnetism. So at the beginning of the class, she said to the class, I want you to think of a word. It has 6 letters. It starts with M, and it picks up things. Of course, she was fishing for magnet, but you know what the kids said? They responded with mother, mother. Isn't that what she does? She's always running around, picking up after everyone. Aren't you grateful that moms are willing to do that for us? Yes, we appreciate our moms for all the hard work that they do. Well, let me share one more with you. We need to love our moms generously. Love our moms generously. You know, there's no gift too big to give to our moms. They're certainly worthy of something special sometimes. Maybe it's a special gift, something they've always wanted. Maybe it's going on a trip. Maybe it's getting some special project done around her home. Something special, just to show her how special that she is to you. I remember several years ago, Sue and I took my mother and her mother on a vacation trip, and we went to Virginia Beach. And I've got to tell you, that is one of our all-time favorite vacations because we enjoyed every minute of being together with our moms. Can we do things sometimes to show them how special they are? And let me tell you another important way to show your your generosity, and that is to be generous with your time. Be generous with your time. You know, I have two brothers I really appreciate. One lives with my mom down in Texas, and so he's always there. So if anything happens or she has something that she needs, we know that she's going to be taken care of. I also have another brother, a younger brother in the Dallas area who is retired, and nearly every day he stops over for an hour, maybe two, just to check in on mom and to visit with her. He also takes the time to follow up on doctor's appointments, medications, problems with bills, all of those things. And he does it so willingly. You know, I live a long ways away. I just can't do those things. So I appreciate so much their generosity toward our mom. You know, when I talk to her on the phone, I'm just like a lot of you. Seems like I'm always busy. There's a never ending list of things to do. And you know, you're always looking for that convenient time to talk on the phone when you just talk as long as you want. But that time very seldom comes. But I'm trying my best when I call and I talk to my mom just to relax and forget about all those things, the rest of the world, and just enjoy our talk together. So we can talk as long as we need to talk. It doesn't always happen that way, but I wish it did. And you know, I think about the time will come when we won't be able to have a conversation again. So I want to make the most of all the time that I have with my mom. And I wish I were there more often to visit. So another way we can show generosity is with our time. I'm pretty certain that all of you love your mom just like I love my mom. So as Proverbs says, let's give her the praise that she deserves. There's a cute little story I found that maybe expresses a point. It goes something like this. This is purely fiction, not true. But God did the creation. Of course, He made man and He made woman. And the woman was to be the first mom. And when He was finishing her creation, an angel saw and inspected and looked at her, thought she was quite a marvelous creation. But he looked and he said, "What is that on her cheek? Is that something leaking from her eye?" And God looked at her and said, "No, that's not a leak. That's a tear." And the angel said to the Lord, "Well, what is the tear for?" Well, the Lord replied, and he says, "Well, that's the way that she expresses her joy. She expresses her sadness. She expresses disappointment. She expresses pain, loneliness, and sometimes even her pride." And the angel said, "Oh my goodness, that's really a wonderful thing you have given to the woman." And the Lord looked at the angel and he said, "No, I'm afraid I didn't put it there." The message the story is trying to convey is while God has given us these wonderful wives and mothers, we're the ones that put the tears there. And we can bring our moms tears of sadness, which none of us want to do, or we can bring her tears of joy. And I'm hoping on this Mother's Day, that's what you're going to do for your mom. You're going to bring her a tear of joy. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Happy Mother's Day, all the rest of the mothers here, too. God bless everyone.